So, just gonna cut to the chase. Life is hard. Let's be honest. I know, right?
What?
Big plot twist. But we all know this. That's what this whole retreat is about. And as Alex was talking about last night, we're always hurting. That doesn't mean life is not good, but it's also hard. Now we know God does want good things for us, because he does, yes, he says to Jeremiah, I know all the plans I have for you. Plans to give you a future full of hope. Plans for your welfare, not for woe. But it's not the same thing as life will be easy. There's this terrible myth that's still persistent, especially Christianity, where it's like if you give your whole life over to Jesus, your problems go away magically, and life is good forever and ever. No, that's not true at all. But let's be honest, we still kind of believe that, like even internally. Like how often, when things don't go away, do we just throw our hands up and we're like, God, why is this happening to me? But Jesus never said, if you follow me, your life will be easy. In fact, he actually says the opposite. They will hand you over to persecution, and they will kill you. You will be hated by all nations because of my name. Not exactly the best sales pitch, but whatever. So I'm not here to talk about why life is hard. I'm here to talk about what we're going to do when life is hard. So 2 words for you: persistence and resilience. What's the difference? That's to you guys.
Persistence is like keeping going, resilience like almost like staying up,
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, perseverance is like keep trying, and resilience is like keeping who you are when you keep trying.
Almost. So you both got persistence.
A wall.
What?
It's like a wall when you're resilient.
Almost. So resilience is the ability to recover quickly from the difficulties or like getting up when you fall down. So, I hate to break it to you, but very little in this life gets easier. We are simply, just breaking that to you now. But we get better prepared for it. Who plays video games? So, James, when you're playing a video game, do the levels get easier or do they get harder as you progress?
Harder.
So how do you beat the game?
It's persistent.
Yeah. Right. You gotta get better.
Or sometimes it just
Yeah, but you level up as you get through the levels, so.
Yes.
You're playing wrong.
I see where you're going with this.
Thank you. So yeah, we get better, and that's how the rest of life is. So you guys are in high school. A lot of you are probably going to college. You think college is easier?
No.
The classwork, not the lifestyle. Say some of you have jobs now. You think your later, more permanent job gets easier?
Yes.
Sometimes, not always. So like, I'm basically a project manager. So granted, I don't have to do like Diffie-Q or Calc 3 or physics every day, but instead I get to manage people, which is a whole other dynamic. What about relationships? How many of you are dating somebody right now?
Always.
You're a little more than that.
Well, I think you got it figured out. Like,
I'm always dating my husband.
But it's like, y'all and the rest of you, if you get married one day, do you think marriage is going to be easy? Say to the core team who are married, is it easy?
No.
yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah, but you've only been married like, what, 6 months? 8?
Okay, fine.
But is it worth it?
Absolutely.
Good
Better
answer.
be worth it.
Good answer.
The vague threateningness of that statement.
So yeah, the point is it's not about it being easy. It's about growing through the lesser trials now so we can be ready for the bigger stuff ahead. Does anybody, what?
Hooray.
Yes, exactly. Does anybody know what X's 90 is, by chance?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, the no showers?
Yeah, so, it's more than just that.
I could not know that shower, I'm sorry.
So it's like Lent on steroids.
Lent on steroids?
Yeah, so it's a 90-day exercise where you give up a bunch of things like no desserts, no sweet drinks, movies, TV, video games. unnecessary use of the internet,
Whoa.
and then there's
Very hardcore.
But
it's alright.
who gets
What
on
counts
with
as
unnecessary?
That's unnecessary.
I'm getting there. And then there's adders like praying for an hour a day, intense exercise 3 times a week, and cold showers only. So if long cold showers are a thing, short only. It's weird. It's
I
not
think there's long showers.
Long cold showers are.
I'll talk about
So I did this a few guys.
Guys.
So I did this a few years ago with friends. And it was a really good lesson for me for what persistence actually means. So if you go into Exodus 90 hyped that you're going to get holy and you're going to get swole for Jesus, you're going to be disappointed. Because for one, growing in anything, but especially holiness, is not usually glamorous. There are definitely the moments of beauty, enlightenment, serenity, especially during prayer. And those moments help you carry on because they're fragments of what's to come in heaven. And we need those moments because otherwise growth also feels like hunger, it feels like tiredness, being unsure of your own abilities. And so don't think you're failing just because you don't feel holy. If you read the lives of the saints, they didn't always have the best time either. Many of them had lots of physical ailments throughout their life. Padre Pio was beat up by demons on the regular. Mother Teresa faced spiritual dryness in her later years. So I did not do Exodus 90 perfectly. Yeah, I failed. But no one in our group did. And to do it perfectly is kind of to miss the point. Holiness is not about being perfect. It's about realizing how much we need God. And that can only come from humility. Holiness, it is ultimately something only God can plant and cultivate in us. But humility is the fertile soil in which that grows. Saints are not someone who never sins. They're a sinner that keeps on trying. That's why confession is always necessary. It wipes away the sin and puts us back on our feet to start again. And it gives us the grace to sin no more. With that in mind, don't be discouraged if you have to keep going back to confession again and again for the same sins. Just because we're forgiven, it doesn't mean we're never going to struggle with it or be tempted by it. And that's why we need the graces regularly from confession, Eucharist, and the other sacraments. Because we can't do this on our own strength. A few quick practical notes of confession. So first, remember, you're not being put on trial. This is your moment to encounter God's love and mercy firsthand working through the priest. Even for those who haven't gone through all the sacraments and can't receive absolution, you can still go to it for counsel and advice. Second, it's confidential. The priest will literally be excommunicated if they tell anybody. And also, but furthermore, they've heard it all before. There's nothing you can say that they haven't heard. And no, that's not a challenge. What is a challenge, though? So, if you guys are going to reconciliation day or whenever you go next, examine your conscience on what you struggle with the most. Be it one of the 7 deadly sins or just trust in God. And examine how long you've struggled with it and why. I've struggled with things for well over a decade. So, you're going to have confession here in a bit. Aren't you, by the way? Yeah. Okay. So, in a little bit, some of the priests are going to be here. We're going to have confession. So, this is your chance to bring those burdens to them. And then also, we are going to have adoration later tonight. So, that's another time to take all this to God.